We've been having a blast with the near-perfect port that is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, but what about Mario Kart 9? What's up, everybody? It's Zach from Switchforce. I've got Jake and Gabe here with me, and today our thoughts drift to the future, to the inevitable Mario Kart 9, and we've compiled a list of the 9 things we'd love to see in Mario Kart 9. So we've been playing a bunch of MK8D. It's a fantastic game, probably the biggest, best Mario Kart, definitely the fastest selling now after the recent reports. But what do we want out of a sequel? What do we want out of a true Switch original Mario Kart? Gabe is going to start that list off.
Jake doesn't like this idea, but I think it's finally time to bring more Nintendo characters into the fold. Yes, that means you bring over Samus. Yes, that means you bring over Kid Icarus. I mean, honestly, the characters that they could bring kind of rival what Super Smash Bros. Already does, and I understand it's called Mario Kart, so it's made sense that they have stuck with Mario characters in the past, but it's time. It has to be time, right? Because what else do you do to iterate what seems to be almost a perfect formula? Of course, we need more characters and more tracks, so you bring in Samus, you have a Metroid-themed track with Metroid-themed music and Metroid-themed carts. Like, I think it's a good thing, and I think it's finally time. And no, you don't change the name to Nintendo Kart or anything like that, but I think that's what's next.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw that direction being the one that Nintendo wanted to go down with the DLC, introducing Link, introducing Hyrule, introducing Isabelle and Animal Crossing. So I think they've already made that decision. Now we just need to see it fully realized. And I feel like there have been some new IP lately, and we saw the Inkling be brought in, but there will be new IP between now and Mario Kart 9. Hopefully ARMS is one of them, and we'd love to see those characters be incorporated into the new racer.
I guess I'm not 100% behind it, but if they're in the game, there's already some crossover happening, so, I mean, I just don't touch those characters, so we'll just let it go.
You can't stop the crossover.
Nope.
The transition has already begun, Jake.
I guess so, but going along
stopped.
with new characters, I think it's time to bring in some new items. We've had kind of give and take of items disappearing and coming back in like specific battle mode items like the feather, that you can jump over things. But I'm talking like some brand spanking new items. I think we should pull from the Mario universe. Like if we did something like a spiny, like the ones that Lakitu drops, and it would function basically as a banana, but instead of just being stationary, it could walk like laterally back and forth across the track left to right, so you can just add some more fun and flavor to the obstacles, or reach into new IP if this is what the new trend is that we're doing, is getting more crossovers, and grab like a ARMS punching glove that can punch like side to side or front to back, in a short distance, and just knock somebody off the course or into a wall or something like that. So I think it's a great way to freshen it up, because new characters don't really offer any new gameplay mechanics, but some new items could offer a little bit of new ways to play the game, which I think would be super fun.
Yeah, and it's an awesome way also to continue to, I know you don't like this, but incorporate some of the other franchises.
If it's a new item,
we
I'm okay
already
with
see
it.
that happening.
I want to turn into. I want to be Samus, and I want to turn into a morph ball. So I can
That's
just
a little far.
No, it's not. It's perfect. You're crazy.
Or like a Splatoon gun, where you can paint the ground that like slows other people down in it or something, 'cause it's like your color territory.
Ooh.
Yeah,
I like that. I think that's a good one. And again, I like the idea of being able to incorporate more franchises. Plus, I feel like the formula, we have gotten so used to red shell, green shell, blue shell, and we've expressed a lot of, times where we're like, hey, we'd like these items to do something a little different, or be able to bring the pack together more, or be able to make it a little, maybe even more chaotic, so first place changes up more often, or things of that nature. So maybe a little bit of an item switch could work wonders. I also think what would work wonders would be more linear non-lap courses, things in the vein of Mount Wario, of Big Blue. I really love when they abandon the 3-lap format and instead give us 3 sections. I think it keeps the races feeling more expansive, feeling more exploratory, and I think it adds some intensity instead of the repetition. I like the fact that you're going through a new segment and you can kind of more pinpoint, okay, like here are the trouble areas, here are the cool areas, and for a lot of people, I think Mount Wario is one of the best and one of the favorites for Mario Kart 8, so I'd love to see more of that being incorporated. They've only done 6 in the history of the franchise. I think it's time to put like 6 in this game alone.
I can definitely see it, especially with like Breath of the Wild. Like you have one where you're going through like a couple different areas, and like there's the divine beasts there. Like you go through like Mount Doom, and then you go through like the Zora's Domain or something like that, and then like a third place, like the Garuda Desert or something like that. I think would be really cool. So I definitely think there's plenty of options. I kind of like on like both sides of the fence on this one, because in some ways I like having a 3 laps so you kind of know like when the end is coming up. But on the other side, like if you play the track a couple of times, like you'll sort of know like there's markers that indicate sort of when you're on the 3rd lap. So yeah, I think with
and it really gives them such a chance to extrapolate on their design, and it makes the world feel so much bigger when you have this 3-lap long course versus 1-lap course. And of course we'd still have track-based levels, but I think this is really a nice evolution.
You know what a nice evolution would really be is some actual lobbies and some matchmaking that works in a more contemporary way, because what is currently in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, it's exactly like the multiplayer in the Wii U version of the game. I felt like they kind of made a misstep there. I wish that they would have incorporated like true lobby systems where you could like invite your friends. And I know that chat isn't like a thing right now, but by the time Mario Kart 9 comes up, yeah, like a real lobby with a chat system, like. Because even now, like in the tournament mode thing, like there's no reason why, like, we set up the tournament, we're not able to play together unless it's by sheer luck and like joining each other. And this might not be as big a deal to some people because not everybody plays with online with friends, so it's not a big deal to you. But lobbies that are like set up and work in a more current manner as opposed to what Nintendo's doing now would be great. And also the matchmaking, there's a lot of connection errors that are happening with Mario Kart 8, so get that all tidied up, have the actual multiplayer system be something that isn't as like janky as this time around.
Yeah, and you'd hope with Nintendo's online service reaching its full capacity and hitting the paid level later this year, that by the time Mario Kart 9 came around, they would have that all ironed out and hopefully gone through a couple of iterations and nearly perfected. So we could have chat, we could have lobbies, we could have a whole lot better system for interacting with the community and hopefully not getting those communication errors.
This is something that is a little bit of a divergent from lobbies, but something that it's a very small fix and something very easy to do. But I really wish that you could, now that they brought back the 2-item carry capacity, that you could flip between those items. Like just give like the L button just to flip your items, or like Y or something, because I feel like that would offer a lot more strategy to your play as opposed to having to burn through the first item no matter what it is to get to the second one. So you could save a banana for when you get to a higher place in the race, or you could, save the mushroom for and still use your red shell, but save the mushroom for like upcoming like shortcut or something that you're going to need it for. I think it just would add another layer of strategy and more advanced play if they allowed you, like in Double Dash, to flip between your 2 items. Small fix, but I think it would do a lot.
This is absolutely critical if they decide to keep the 2-item thing, which is, I'm assuming they would or they should, because I find it more fun with the 2-item thing. Everybody loves it in Double Dash. Everybody loves it now that it's back in Deluxe. So I feel like going forward, they stick with the 2-item thing, and yes, you have to give us the ability to switch them. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance between extra chaos and more strategy, right? Because with 2 items and no flipping, like you mentioned, Jake, you have to burn through one of them, and so you're kind of firing them off more quickly. Or would you rather incorporate more strategy? Personally, I like the more strategy idea, and I think that flipping them would be a boost for Mario Kart 9. I also think that while this may seem like kind of an off-the-radar extra, I would love to have a single-player storyline. I would love to have Mario or whatever character they choose to be the titular character competing against the rest of the Mushroom Kingdom, or racing for, even something as simple as like Bowser's on a runaway cart stealing Princess Peach, and you have to race towards him through all of these different tracks, and just give us a little bit of a single-player mode. It doesn't have to be super fleshed out, but I would just love some cutscenes. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe looks so good. The Mario models these days look so fantastic. Give us some of those cutscenes. Give us a little bit of an overall structure to playing solo besides the Grand Prix, besides the unlockables, and I think that would go a long way to adding value and seeming like an upgrade for Mario Kart 9.
I think you could incorporate other cool things, like you could have like more like challenge-based race missions, like you have like a set amount of coins in the course, and you have to like get all 20 of them in one lap, or stuff like, and in a time limit. Just things like that would mix up the way you play, as opposed to just doing pure formulaic races to time trial or to beat an opponent. I think there's ways that they can incorporate items and coins and things to make a variety of different, almost like game modes, I guess, along the way.
Plus, look how fun Subspace Emissary was in Super Smash Bros. That was such a cool occurrence where we had characters from different universes working together, and those cutscenes, even though the mode wasn't like super innovative or whatever, those cutscenes and just that feel made that so much more fun. So I think bringing that into the Mario Kart franchise would be a phenomenal choice.
Maybe Captain Falcon will join the character roster, and he'll pick up Mario in his super fast F-Zero car, and that can be one of the levels.
So speaking of things that are more fun, I think that when they bring things like Hyrule, the Hyrule course in this game is like so cool. The fact that there's rupees instead of coins, and I feel like they could do that for all types of franchises, especially if they do bring over these potential new characters. So just more homages I think would be fun. I keep coming back to the Metroid one, so I don't know what you put instead of coins or like rupees in the Metroid one, but I don't know, just more little things like that to make the courses more different, because I get tired of seeing those darn coins all over the place.
No more coins. No more coins. No, there will definitely be a whole lot of Mario-based courses and ones that aren't attached to specific games. But yes, I think that I always am hoping for that Hyrule course or the Animal Crossing course, because it does just add a little bit of extra flair, and Nintendo has so much flair. Let's spread it around. You know, why not have you collecting golden bananas or something of the sort on the DK course? Why not bring in that Metroid course? Give us a dedicated Splatoon 2 raceway with all those little chum chasing after you. I think that would be so much fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many Kirby courses you could do. I mean, there's infinite. It's amazing. This is a crossover that I am okay with. And speaking of craziness, what if, like in Super Smash Bros., you had race modifiers? So, like, you could have, like, an entire race where you're lightning and everybody's super tiny and squeaky. Or you have, like, oil spills on the course, so it makes the track, like, super slippery and, like, drifting is almost impossible. Just fun things to make it more of, like, a party mode almost. So it would include everybody and, like, kind of create a little bit more chaos, but in a fun way, to kind of level the playing field and make it more just about playing with each other in a fun way and experiencing the game differently, as opposed to, like, super hardcore competitive racing. Obviously, you'd still have a winner, but just ways to mix up the gameplay.
Just bringing in more party
modes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be super cool to have like a backwards driving mode, or one where all items have to be fired backwards, things of that sort. That would just give a little bit more replayability, a little bit more extra content, especially if they're going to incorporate real lobbies and things like that. So you could party up and play through some of these unique modifiers with your friends, and have that competitive but also just kind of crazy fun that Nintendo is known for. And my favorite of the list, it's a weird one, but I would love to have a dual mode option. Battle mode is back in a big way with Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. They really, I feel, tightened that up and brought a nice, sweet variety there to that kind of crazy competition. But I'd love a one-on-one sort of challenge race mode where it's more obstacle course based than it is strict track, and allows two people to face off and find out who's the best. Right now, one-on-one races to me aren't all that exciting. They end up being very lopsided, and I'd love to have smaller courses, a couple of them, 5 or 6 courses that were small courses, obstacle based focus, maybe had an extra amount of items, and really allowed two people to sort of duke it out and determine who is the superior racer. I feel like they now have rounded out the battle side of things. They've got the track side of things and the racing side of things really down pat, and we've given them some suggestions for that mode. But now we just need one thing that can determine the best racer of all.
I think that's a really cool idea, and like how you said, like an obstacle course, more so than like just a straightforward race, but like have a bunch of different paths or like shortcuts that you can take. Have a bunch of like weird, like even like you said, like the Splatoon, like have like chum pop out and like affect your racing, or different stuff like Kirby items or villains pop out and affect your racing. But just things to make it more, like you said, like competitive for two people to play, as opposed to just one person gets out front and they have bananas the whole time, and the person behind is trying to catch them with shells.
Right, and it just gives... Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is such a massive package. I feel like they're going to need to add some extra features to make sure that Mario Kart 9 doesn't feel like a step back. Let us know which features you want most in Mario Kart 9. Which of these 9 would you like to see in that sequel? Or is there something that you have invented of your own? Let us know down in the comments below. Make sure that like button if you enjoyed the video and are hoping for a Mario Kart 9 on Switch. We are loving MK8D, but we definitely want another one soon. Make sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all the latest and greatest from the Mario Kart franchise, from the Nintendo Switch, and from us here at Switch Force. Hit the notification bell if you want to be the first to know. And for myself, Jake, and Gabe, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic day. Switch Force out.